friends, it's Ms. Marshall and Cupcake, and we are here today to talk about weaving. Now, as you can see, we need a few things to get ready before we get started. We need a piece of colored paper, some other papers in a different color that are cut just as wide, and something to draw with, and something to cut with. Once you have those things ready, here's what to do. Starting with the colored piece of paper, you're going to fold this in half. My paper is really heavy, so it takes a minute to fold like that. If you don't have colored paper, you can just draw on it or paint on it like I did. Fold that in half like this, and here's the V that it makes. Once you have that, take something to draw with. I'm going to use this pen. And right up at the top of one side, we're going to draw a line. Make sure that your line is at the top of the open side, one of the tops of the V's, right here. You don't want to make it too close or too low down, but just about right here is good enough. You make that line all the way across, and it'll look something like this. Now here's why we did that. Take your scissors, starting from the fold part at the bottom, you're going to cut. Now figure out which part is the middle, right about here, and you're going to cut both sides of your V together. Cut straight up until you get to the line that you drew. Like that. Now it looks like a pair of shorts. Here's what to do next. On this side of the pair of shorts, you're going to cut that in half too, like this. You're going to try to cut it as straight as you can. Just do your best. And stop when you get to that line. It'll look like this. Do the same thing on the other side. Like that. Get the idea? Now if you want to go crazy like I'm about to do, you can cut each of these in half as well. Ready? Like this. Pretty soon it's going to look like this. Now go ahead and unfold it. From the front it looks like this. From the back it looks like this. Pretty awesome, right? Sort of a magic trick. Now here's how you can start weaving. First of all, we want to get rid of that fold. So just flip it upside down and like fold it backwards so it gets a little straighter. Now is when we're going to use those pieces of paper that we cut. Remember that these are just as wide as this. Here's why that's important. I'm starting with this one. And here's what to do. If you sort of pop these out from the back with your fingers, you can see those lines, the cuts that are in between each one of them. So you go on top of the first one, in through that cut, and pop it up through the next cut. Down through the next cut. Up through the next cut. I bet you know what happens next. Down through the next cut, up through the next one, and down through the last one. Okay, now you've gone all the way across. You're going to shimmy, shimmy, shimmy that right down to the bottom. Like this. So from the back, it looks like this. From the front, it looks like this. Now, get another piece of colored paper. Get ready to do it again, but something is different this time. This time, we're going to go in reverse. Remember how last time we started by going on top here, and we went down through the first cut? The opposite is that we're going to start from behind and come up through the first cut, like this. down through the next one, up through the next one, down, up. Of course, I'm holding mine up so you can see it. It's going to be a little easier for you because you're doing it flat on the table. Pretty soon you'll have it all the way across, and remember, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy it down until it's right above the first one. Nice. Take another piece of paper, and this time, here's the trick. You're going to do what you did in the first row. We started by going which? On top or behind? On top, and we went down through the first cut. So that's what we're going to do again. If you're having trouble getting in those cuts, remember, put your fingers behind like me. Pop that out. It's easier. So weave it all the way across. And shimmy, shimmy, shimmy it down. Like that. Now that is starting to look just like weaving. When you do the next row, we're going to do that trick again. We're going to do it like the second row. So what did this one start? On top of the paper or behind the paper? It started behind the paper and came up. So that's what we're going to do again. Like that. And you're just going to keep going. Every other row you repeat. Every other row you repeat. Make sense? In a few minutes, your weaving is going to look like this. I thought that top row was the hardest one, but I just used my fingers to pop out the cut so I could get the paper between. And there's my finished weaving. What do you think it looks like? Maybe a checkerboard? Maybe a placemat? You could eat off of it. You could hang it on the wall. If you want, you could decide to draw on each of these and make your weaving even more amazing. Nice work.